Hey, welcome back to another episode of Soulful Sundays with Madge. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey as we discuss challenges that come up at different times in our life and how our perspective can be a great tool in helping us to overcome so many obstacles that we face. And as always, if you like what you receive, feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment below, ring the bell to subscribe to the channel. This way, each week when I upload, you will receive notification. And always know that if you have any questions, you can email me at askmadge18@gmail.com. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this week's topic, which is what are our shoulds? Yes, exactly the way I just said it. So what are our shoulds? So when it came to me to discuss this particular message this week, what I was really thinking about was what are the areas let me say it like this. Have you ever thought about wanting to do something for yourself, whether it was going back to school or taking up an additional certification? My dog just came up, and so he's probably going to start snoring at any minute, and you probably hear that right now. But whether it was going back to school, whether it was picking up a certification, whether it was starting a business, whatever it is that you felt like you wanted to produce in your life, you wanted to bring forth in your life, and then all of a sudden paradigms came up, or you reached out to people to get their opinion on it, and people or whatever comes up makes you feel like you should be doing something else, or you shouldn't be doing that because that's not you, or that's not what people know of you to do. So then before you know it, you either shrink back into life as you knew it, or you just think maybe it was just a flicker of a thought. It was just something that I was thinking, but who am I to want to do that? Or how could I find the time to do that? Or what would people think of me if I decided to make this switch and venture out and do something different? All these things come up. And I feel like when it comes up, or people tell us what we should or we shouldn't be doing, or we feel like people would judge us based off what they think we should or we shouldn't be doing, have you ever realized that sometimes it can cause us to not even attempt to go down that road or to see what could have been because we decided that we shouldn't do it? I was thinking about this time. So you may or may not know, I recently moved over the summer. So the summer of 2020, I moved. Now, prior to me moving, I had been in my townhouse for maybe over 4 years. So in the time of me being in my townhouse, my father had passed away maybe 6 to 8 months prior to me moving into this particular townhouse that I lived in for 4 years. So when my father passed away, and me and my brother and other family members helped us, we packed up his home. So there were things of his that I took, and they were in totes or bins, and I just never really went through them fully, but I knew it was of importance to me. There were certain items that I did not want to let go of, that I wanted to be a part of my life, or wherever I moved, that it was going to come with me. So just stick with me. There's a reason behind this story. So when we packed up my father's home, there were items that I took that were in bins, that were in totes. And I just put them away. They were in closets or shelves at my townhouse, and I never went through them. But when you move, you literally go through everything, because it's like a time to clean out the clutter and get rid of things that you no longer need and give it away, donate it, all those things. So I decided that I didn't want to take all the bins. I didn't want to take all those different totes or, whatever he had his possessions in. I wanted the items. I wanted to figure out a way to condense it and to minimize it to bring to my new home. So when I was going through his possessions, I won't really get into all the details because he's no longer here, and it was sacred. It was his, and I was going through parts of him, that his thoughts. I was going through things that my father wrote down, and different ideas, or just things that he wanted, to do in life. And in that moment, I realized that I would never be able to ask my father, what did you want more of? What did you decide that you shouldn't have done because of what other people would have thought of you, or what other people thought your role in life was supposed to be? What could life have looked like if you would have just decided to venture out and to do all the things that I came across that you wanted out of life, that you wrote about, that you journaled about? And it broke my heart, because to this day, I won't be able to ask my father, what would you have done differently? What would you have went after? Had you just been able to not care what anyone thought or what anyone wanted you to do, but you decided to venture out in a purpose that may have been unfulfilled. My father may have died, left transition, this realm that we're in, this life that we have, with treasures buried on the inside of him, things that he wanted to accomplish and to do, but maybe he thought he shouldn't have done it for whatever reason. And I don't know about you, but I know this. I loved that man. I love my dad. And he was a great man. And to know that he could have left this earth unfulfilled, or parts of him unfulfilled, it really makes me realize that I want to be more bold in not caring so much what others think that I should or shouldn't be doing, or think who I should or shouldn't be, and decide that when it's my time to leave, when it's my time to transition, I want to go empty. I want for my children to go and read my journals and to say, wow, she wrote that and she lived it. She did it. My mother had a full life. So now I ask you, when your day comes and someone is reading off your history, is it gonna read off that you had a full life, that you lived in your purpose, that you did everything that you believed you could do, and you did everything that you believed that you weren't even sure that you could do, but you decided that no one was gonna should you, that no one was gonna tell you who you should or shouldn't be, or who you can and can't be, or what you should and shouldn't do? Just my thoughts. So let's decide to live full lives. Let's decide to live brave lives, courageous lives, and not allow our conditions or what people think or what people are gonna say to dictate how we show up for ourselves, and how we show up in the world. So ask yourself, what are your shoulds? Thank you for tuning in another week with me. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. And I want you to stay blessed. And excuse my dog who loves to snore. Until next week. Bye.